So in the last few weeks, Dodge has started to ramp up its promotional tour to get people excited for the new 2025 all-electric Dodge Charger Daytona, and I guess we have to talk about it. So in the last couple weeks, I think this thing's been making its rounds at shows, little demos here and there. YouTubers are starting to make videos about it, Racer X and others. I haven't seen one in person, obviously, but have done some reading. Here are my impressions. Let's just get the aesthetics out of the way. It's not a terrible looking car. I'm not calling it ugly. It doesn't look like most EVs, but you can kind of tell it's an EV. A definite callback look to something like the '69 Charger. I'd like to have seen the rear deck stretched out a little more. Like that '69 Charger, it's a little squatty from front to back, kind of the way the Charger was when it first came back in, I don't know, I forget how long ago it was. That car was ugly, I thought. I know in Racer X's video, he gave us a nice tour of the interior. Looked like a suede or an Alcantara mixed with some carbon fiber weave and leather and huge screen, and interior didn't look terrible. And then I guess the biggest external feature that they're trying to make a buzz over is the patent pending Rwing. The website says it's named for a famous rocket scientist. They don't say who that rocket scientist is. Whatever. But they basically took the nose of the car, cut a couple of slots in it, so it's kind of like a slotted spoiler on the front, supposed to be aerodynamic, less drag. There's obviously no data accompanying this on the website, so I don't know how effective it actually is, but it's something they did. Which brings us to the meat and potatoes of this electric car, and that's the electric part.
Well, I guess that's worth a look.
Website claims 700 combined horsepower, 335 for each electric motor, one in the front, one in the back. And somebody tell me, is that actually how that's calculated for an EV? I generally don't think that's the way it should be. If you got two motors with 335 horsepower each, independently operating, I guess technically it's a combined 670, but for the vehicle as a whole, isn't it still 335? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. Let me know in a comment below. It doesn't matter if I'm wrong. I want to be informed. Those electric motors sit on top of a 100.5 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery, which is meant for performance. It uses a prismatic cell structure, which basically means the cells for the battery pack modules, they're boxes. They're solid, they're rigid, they're the most expensive of the cell structures. Just to give you some idea, the cylindrical cells are what you normally see. It's the most common. That's what the Tesla and most other manufacturers use. GM's Ultium is in the process of, or has completed, switching to the cylindrical cell structure versus what they used to use, the pouch cell structure, which, for lack of better terminology, it's more like the battery for your laptop, except there would be a dozen of them sandwiched together or in the battery module. It's supposed to be a 0 to 60 time in 3-ish seconds. It's quick. I'm going to give it that. It's quick. Built for performance. E-muscle, they call it. They even want to go so far, and I guess this is the most controversial part, next to it being an electric car to start with. They're trying to give you the internal combustion engine V8 feel with the Fratzonic chambered exhaust system, which is a speaker in basically a chambered enclosure with baffles that will make the sound resonate as it takes input from the accelerator to give the different engine tones for RPMs and whatnot. I mean, the first time I heard this was when the Banshee concept car was making the rounds. They demoed it, and I heard it on a video, and I don't know if because it's on a video, It doesn't do it justice, but it sounded to me like the money would have been more well spent to pay a 8-year-old to sit in the passenger seat and make engine sounds like you would pushing Hot Wheels around. And the demo video that came out a couple of weeks ago ain't much better. Again, that may be because it's on video, because it's recorded. Maybe that doesn't pick it all up right. I don't know, but from what I understand, nobody likes it. I don't like it. It's a fucking joke. And here's the thing about that, though. People, at least some people, at first, they're going to buy this joke. They're going to buy it because Dodge does something that Ford and GM don't. Dodge, in my opinion, leads the way by leaps and bounds with their promotion. The way they try to describe their cars, the way they try to make them seem fun. The Dodge commercials with the Charger and the Challenger and the two guys being like the Dodge brothers, seeing the cars drive around doing donuts and everything else. They made those cars seem fun. They're going to do the same with this thing for sure. I mean, even on their website. When it comes to the interior part, I mean, what other manufacturer website is going to have the heading over that interior section, hot damn? They go so far as to make the different car modes, they make them sound fun. There's donut mode, and I'll put the screenshot of them up here. Donut mode is the one that I remember, and they're going to make this thing look fun. And I will credit Dodge for at least trying to do something. I don't know if innovative is the right word, but they are trying something. Unlike GM, who let the 6th generation Camaro languish for the last 4 or 5 years of its existence with no major updates, no major tech changes, a little paint color here and there, and an underwhelming collector. But as fun and exciting as their webpage makes it out to be, and you know, their terminology, hot damn and donut mode and all that, does make it look fun. You know what's missing though? The range. I mean, historically, Hellcats, Dodge Demon 170, all of those, they're not necessarily known for fuel economy. And this is supposed to be an EV for the environment. I mean, that's what all EVs are, right? Who's going to want to have that kind of anxiety? We go to the track, run it a couple of times, then your battery's dead for however long it takes to charge it back up. There's probably not going to be a Tesla supercharger sitting out there. You're probably not going to be able to use a Tesla supercharger unless Tesla decides to add Dodge to that network the way they have some Ford vehicles. But I really want to know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Be happy to discuss it. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys that may know better, or maybe you're a little bit impressed with the stats and the way it appears. I want to know about it. But if you've taken the time out of your day to watch me up to this point, thank you for this opportunity to earn your subscription. You know where that button is if you want to click it. Please put a like on the video and share it to anyone that you think could benefit from it. But until next time, I'm JR, and I am out.